right, I just want to walk us through this second block, this literary analysis block of where we are. Let's make sure. Let me go to my got everything open up here. All my tabs are open. All right, so there we go. Let's go to this literary analysis block of Comp 2. Welcome to the birthmark. I hope that you have a good time navigating it. All right, let me share my screen. Right. Welcome to Block 2, our literary analysis of the birthmark. So here's a little bit about the birthmark. And so um, we're going to end, so this week and next week, by the end of next week, we will be writing or finishing up a literary analysis essay of the birthmark. And so what I want to stress mostly is that a literary analysis essay only analyzes that work of literature. So we don't want to apply ourselves just yet. We don't want to, as we're reading this, we might see, we might see uh, how we relate to Georgiana, how we relate to Almer, or maybe how we relate to Amimadab. Anyway, I'd have to look at his name. Anyway, how we relate to Abinadab. Abinadab is his name. That's the helper. That's Almer's helper. Um, but we don't want to do that in the essay. So just remember that as you read, that we're only analyzing the essay. All right, here's a place where you can download the birthmark, print it off if you want to, write some notes on it. Here's an audio version I'm going to make sure we can't see that here in just a moment, but here's the audio version. If you want the birthmark read to you, you can listen to it. And, if you're in your car and access YouTube, this is just YouTube link. So if you want to listen to it, you can. Here's an example works cited, or how you cite that. We're going to get into that next week. And then here's the literary devices, right? So this week we are focusing on some terminology and literary devices. So as you're reading all this, if you feel like you're getting a little bit lost, always just go down to submit. Say, did I do the reading quiz and assessments? And did I do the discussion board by Tuesday of next week? We want to be quoting or discussing on that discussion board this week. And we don't want to wait until Tuesday because you have to respond to a couple of other students. So you need to be, responding to those other students by Tuesday, right? So we want to make sure that we do that this week. All right, so just go down to the submit. You also have a chance for some bonus opportunity for the birthmark. So if you want to do a painting, a drawing, if you want to, do something with your handprint, whatever you want to, you can earn up to 25 points. And we can kind of discuss that. Uh, how many points that's worth one-on-one if you feel like it deserves more points. All right, so that's really all that we're doing this week is just read the birthmark. I can't get more simple than that. Read the birthmark, right? I'm going to go over to the discussion board to show you this little box. Now this will not delete. I've tried and tried to delete. This is the old box. I apologize for it. But I broke down these assignments here. All right, so we just have one quiz. I'm trying to keep it simple because this is an 8-week class and not a 16-week class. So I'm just trying to make it, oh good, I already have somebody commenting. So I'm just trying to make it very simple. So we only have one quiz, right? And then we have 2 discussion boards. One discussion board this week and a discussion board next week. And that's it. Then we have our essay and a revision checklist. Usually the revision checklist is worth 25 points, but I really want to hone in on it the first essay. Actually, this is the second essay. I really want to hone in on it for this essay. All right. Oh, sorry, it's the first essay for the 16-week class. I get a little mixed up there. So just check out these little due dates. A couple more changed from the I just kind of go with the flow. I try to just read the class and how we're moving along. I still have some students who, are finishing up their first essay and just jumping over into this. So I try to work with students and work with due dates. So, a day change from Monday to Tuesday or from Thursday to Friday. I just change it by one day, so I don't want to throw us through a loop here. But anyway, so we have one quiz and one discussion board. That's all we have this week, a quiz and a discussion board, because I just want you to read the birthmark. All right, I just want us to read the birthmark. So again, we come back down to week 3, September 1st through 5th. We had a holiday, got a lot going on. So again, all that we want to do is just read the birthmark. And it says only to lines 360. That's like the first 8 pages or so, which is a lot to read in a week. For some people, that's a lot to read. And so I want to give us a chance just to read them. So the quiz is only worth, let's go to activities and assessments. The quiz is only 12. It's only 12. I don't know how quiz to look here, but it's only 12 sentences. Okay, well, I don't see the quiz because I'm in your view. All right, when you finish, click on Start Assessment to begin. Attempt one. I don't know where Start Assessment is. I'd have to look at. So if you're having a hard time seeing that too, because I guess I'm not a student here and I'm seeing as a student, but there's only 12 questions in this, and it is meant to. So it says this block 1 and 2 quiz is intended to be easy points that students can earn just by reading lines 1 through 360. After students complete this reading quiz, I'm going to make sure all that's correct. This quiz is worth 50 points. If students miss 4 or less, so you only have to get a 70% and you'll get all points just to make sure that that we're reading, that we're keeping up with the reading because that's all we have to do this week. All right, so that you just have to get a 70%. You'll get all the points. I think it's a little bit beyond lines through 360 because that's just block 1, I believe. It's blocks 1 and 2 is what we're reading. We're reading blocks 1 and 2. So we want to read those first 8 pages and do this little quiz to make sure that we're reading and then hop on over to the discussion board. So we want to do the quiz first and then go over to the discussion board to make sure that, we are reading before we're discussing. I don't want us to, look up. I'm going to check that out here in just a moment, but I don't want us to, Google anything and then just jump on over to the discussion board and then go back to the quiz. So let's make sure you do the quiz first and then the discussion board. All right. And that's it. I mean, that's all that I want us to do this week is to just read the birthmark. I mean, if nothing else, just read the birthmark. All right. If you need to know what are literary devices, is terminology and literary devices in the birthmark. Here's a little literary devices PDF. Right, so you can look at this. It talks about stereotypes, analogies, symbolism, exaggeration, irony, paradox, archetypes. So here's a bunch of different types of literary devices. A few different literary devices. You are more than welcome to read over these and say, okay, do I see symbolism in the birthmark? Do I see irony? Do I see an archetype? All of those are in the birthmark. All of these labeling, name tags, those are all exaggeration. That's all in the birthmark. Every bit of this just about is in the birthmark. So where do you see it and why? Right? Where do you see it and why? So those are those literary devices. All right. So check out the literary devices. Look at where you find them. This is for the discussion board after you do the quiz. So read the birthmark, do those 12 questions on the quiz, and then do the 12 questions on the quiz, and then hop on the discussion board. And that is all that you need to do.